Hey everyone, John here, staff software engineer with 10 plus years of experience. I'm the lead maintainer of Latterly.io. Latterly, an online platform that will help you learn to code and land your first or next programming role. And recently, I altered Latterly to use a monolith pattern or a monorepo pattern. So you can see now it has a Latterly.io top level folder next to a Blitz app top level folder. And prod is deployed out of the Blitz app here. And in the future, I will be migrating little by little over into the T3 stack over here. During this process, everyone is telling me, hey, Claude, you need to use you need to use Cursor IDE. Now, I've used Cursor IDE. I was one of the first people to review it. It's installed here on my system. When I used it, it was underwhelming. Like it was like, okay, this shows a lot of potential, but it's not ready for showtime yet. When I used it, I did not use Claude 3.5. I used some prior model. I think it may have been GPT-4, even before 4.0, just GPT-4, if I recall correctly. And I've been told that it's a game changer with Claude Sonnet. So let's test that out. So the use case that I have in mind to test this out is to work on Aria's Tale. Aria's Tale is another open source project in the Latterly ecosystem. It is a narrative game world. So there's like short stories. So you can read the narrative if you want. And then there are like games, like here's a browser game. And then there's a TTRPG aspect. So you can read the game manual on how to play that. And another thing that I'd like to do is a TCG. And so in today's use case, we will polish up an open, like I have an open pull request for something. I don't even remember what it was. So we'll clean that up and then work on the TCG. Okay, so here's Aria's Tale. We're opening the GitHub. I think it's the map scene is going to be the issue that I want to clean up. So this is VS Code. I am seeing my changes over here. And then I just want to make sure that these same changes are observed in Cursor. So let me open Cursor. Open a folder. Going to open my workspace. Not able to auto detect a valid just command. I don't know why it's looking for a just command. Okay, let's sign into GitHub. Fix this on my phone real quick. If you're liking the video so far, throw some likes on it. Okay. We're all connected now, apparently. This is going to be VS Code. Here is Cursor. Perhaps this is a multi-root repo. Yes, it is. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with that terminal. Why did a just terminal just pop up? Okay. Thanks for the likes. So now we are going to CD into Aria's Tale, and we want to go for, we actually want to go for Aria's Tale RPG right now. The Python TCG doesn't work. It doesn't work. So I can actually remove that out of my workspace. Okay, so we CD into Arya's tail. I'm seeing some blue icons. This is good. So the changes are respected here. So I'm going to go ahead and close VS Code now. Quit VS Code. Yeah, and I don't know what's going on. Workspace level jest. I should not have a workspace level jest. Reload required. Okay, let's reload. VS Code just has been updated. Cool. Let me turn this off. What is this VS Code just? Okay, cool. Azure repos. I don't know why I have this. I think I just recommended like some installed plugins back, like when I used this previously. Babel. I'm not sure that I need Babel. Black is fine. .env is fine. Editor config. That's fine. ESLint. Jupyter. I don't need it. Prettier is good. Pylance. We'll leave it on. Okay. Okay. Cool. So now, how do I make sure that I'm using Claude? This was always one of the pain points with Cursor is it is a language model behind the scenes, but I cannot like just ask it. A question, actually, there was enablement to do that and it didn't do a good job. Like it wasn't aware of itself. Window. I'm going to Command Shift P. I'm going to chat, look for chat, cancel chat, open chat as a side pane. Here we go. Yeah, okay. It was kind of hard to find this, but I'll use the command palette, I guess. So here's Claude 3.5 Sonnet. Okay, they made that easy. That's good. Ask anything. So what I would like to do is just run the app and see the current state of things. So npm run dev. One of the advantages of Claude Sonnet is there is a much larger context window. So in theory, Cursor can comprehend more of your code base. I don't know that Arya's tail is not going to fit inside the Claude context window. So it's already a large app, as is Laterally. So some of the like fantastic reportings about how great Cursor is now, I think will be because people are able to build Claude scale apps as opposed to like GPT 3.5, 8,000 token scale apps, which is like a 10x difference or more. But it's still not big enough for some of these like large code bases, basically. KBS says, what is this and what's the extension name? This is Cursor IDE. It's a whole IDE. It's not an extension. Ruben, thanks for the likes. Okay, so here, I guess this will be the Coliseum where I'm making a map scene. So this will be a phaser scene. We'll skip through this stuff. Let's see. That's not working. I think that's a regression compared to prod. Let's check. No? Oh, wow. I broke it at some point. Wow, that's kind of crazy. Okay, well, good thing we're working on it. I didn't know that I had shipped a bug. So here we are. Map scene. So here we are with the map scene, but I want to look around and look at the start game scene. So I will go ahead and store the map scene, even though it's broken, because I don't want to like mix concerns, basically. So this will be feet map scene whip. Would you like to periodically run git fetch? No. Okay, so here's our first opportunity for Claude. So can I upload images? When I use the real Claude, I have the opportunity to literally take a screenshot and I can like upload it to Claude and it can read the thing. But I don't see a way. I'm going to just paste it, Command V, and see if that works. Okay, it worked. Okay. When I see this UI in the Colosseum game in Arya's Tale RPG, I click the continue listening button, but the screen does not proceed. Fix this bug. I'll just say fix this bug. To fix this bug, we need to add an event listener in the start game scene. Okay, so it's kind of aware. It's linking me over to this page. That's cool. I don't know why it didn't just write that into the file. Okay, so here's Command C, Command FV. So I'm looking for this start game scene. Here it is. So that's unchanged. Continue listening. Continue listening. It wants me to create this. Oh, this is actually not to do with the start game scene. Okay, well, this could be why there's a bug. Originally, this listener was not supposed to be here. What scene is that? Character creation scene, I think. Anyone who speaks to the great dreamer. Let's look for that text. The great, yeah. So it's supposed to be over here. The skip button is working. The skip button is working. So let's refresh the page here. And notice when I start, we're already in the character creation thing. Because this text is not coming from the start game scene. Okay, now it kind of worked. What went wrong there? What went wrong there? So it only bugs out if I click the skip button. Okay. So Claude/cursor has diagnosed the wrong file. Bummer. So I will clarify, the bug is in the character creation scene. If I click the continue button, normally everything works fine. If I click the skip, and what is the technical name of that button? So here's the continue button. How about the skip? The skip button, cool, solid name. Is the NeetCode 150 the best interview prep sheet? No, it's not. Check out latterly.io. Check out the Latterly LeetCode Kata. So go to the blog, Command F, K-A-T-A. This is going to be the better way to get started. You can work up to the NeetCode 150. Sure, it's solid. Not a very good starting point though. How do you start with 150 questions? And if you go and do the NeetCode 150, I don't like a bunch of their stuff. Like under the core skills, the first 2 easy problems are already super painful. So dynamic resize array, like this is like already a goofy problem. This is already a goofy problem. There's like a soft delete implementation. You don't need to know this. Like this doesn't help you. This doesn't help you. So yeah, bunch of concerns with the NeetCode 150. If you want to do it, fine. But I don't think it's a good place to start. And it's not a good place to block yourself either. If you're like, I need to learn all these 150 to start interviewing. No, you don't, dude. So I don't think it's a good starting point. I don't think it's a good terminal point. When I recommend you use the NeetCode 150 is going to be if you complete the Latterly LeetCode Kata, and then you're like, I want exposure to more problems, you can sub-select some of the NeetCode 150. And that will be a useful kind of like increase your pool of questions. But I don't think they're actually all valuable. It might benefit you for quant interviews. Will your list suffice for that? So have you interviewed at HRT? For me, they just gave me a Python array problem. I don't know what you mean by a quant interview, because it's not like they asked me to do anything really different or tricky, but I have a sample size of 1. Again, going back to the NeetCode 150, design dynamic array or design simply linked list is not going to help you in a quant interview. You're not going to be doing this. This is not even the normal way to represent a singly linked list in a LeetCode interview. This is the only piece that you need up here. This stuff down here, you don't need that stuff. Thanks for the follow. Okay. So over here, I was describing the problem to Cursor. The bug is in the character creation scene. If I click the continue button, normally everything works fine. If I click the skip button, then the continue button no longer functions as expected. I apologize for the confusion. You're right, the issue is over there. Let's fix this bug. Problem likely occurs because, so it seems like it's not very sure. The text animation is being skipped, but the continue button's functionality isn't properly updated. Okay, so let's go along with this and see if this fixes it. Command C. We have this continue listening button in our canvas. Again, why am I making these updates? I thought Cursor can do the writing for me. Here's the skip button. Okay, handle animation complete. We want this new private method. Let's grab this. 2 of them. Okay, that's okay. Handle continue button. What are your thoughts on mass applications applying early versus getting LinkedIn referrals? No, do not. My thought is do not say the word versus. You should do both. You should apply with volume and socially network. Do not skip social networking. Do not skip social networking and do not skip volume. You need them both. Applying early helps, but it's much, much, much less important than the other two, volume and social networking. Do you apply, then get a referral, or referral, then apply? You should seek the referral first. So a pre-application referral is much more helpful than a post-application referral. Post-application is better than nothing, but the pre-application referral is going to be much, much more important. So I personally recommend a 3 business day waiting period. So the day that you identify a job that you would like to apply to, you socially reach out to many people at the company who could potentially give you a referral. Immediately reach out to many. Don't try to reach out to one person. Immediately reach out to many and allow yourself a time box of 3 business days. It's going to be quite hard to do that in volume, no? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's a habit. If you build the habit, it's fine. It's not very hard to go message 5 people on LinkedIn. Just shoot them a connection request, add a note. Maybe building the habit might be hard if your definition of hard is something that takes 3 days to get used to. Like you're going to mess it up. If your definition of hard is like, oh no, I messed it up a couple times. Yeah, sure. I don't consider this genuinely hard. I'm a sophomore looking for internships, if that means anything. Not to me. I mean, other people keep telling me that internships are different, but I don't see how. So granted, I'm not applying for internships. But as far as I'm aware, basically all of the advice for landing a junior level role holds even more so for interns. It's just easier at the intern level. There are some programs, there are websites to get internships that will be relevant to you that are not relevant otherwise, but that's about the only difference that I'm aware of. Okay, so this continue listening is still not working. What do you think about padding your resume with soft, hard skills to beat the ATS system? I don't think you should pad your resume. I think you should have skills. The ATS is a real deal. You can use the Indeed free ATS scan. The Indeed ATS does not seem to, at least from the outside in using this free scan, care whether your keyword is mentioned twice or 3 times. I'm aware that some other ATS systems will add weight if a keyword is repeated. I'm not aware of free scans on those though. So I think it's worth repeating a technical skill keyword 2 to 3 times. After that, I don't think it matters much. But even 2 to 3 times doesn't matter as much as mentioning it at least once, because many ATS are not even able to do that weighting. That's sort of a thing that some do, and I'm not even sure how common it is. So to reiterate, I would not pad your resume, padding being to include low value skills or skills that may or may not be accurate to your profile. I would only include skills where if I was asked an interview question, I could give an answer which demonstrated that skill. Okay. So I don't consider that padding. And I would not like repeat the word over and over if that's what you mean by padding to like fill up white space on the resume. No, let it be shorter. That's better. But I do think there's value in mentioning it 1, 2, even 3 times. I think there's value in that. I wouldn't call that padding though. Does that make sense? Thanks for the questions. Also, why did you choose a startup over big tech companies you got offers at? Which big tech company did I get an offer at? Do you value innovation over security? No, I don't. I value them both. Amazon Capital One. Oh, okay. Yeah. So Capital One is now you're basically just asking the question of what is big tech. So Capital One is a large company with large headcount and large annual revenue, but it is not big tech from a quality bar point of view. So if you go to prestigehunt.com, Capital One is going to be ranked like number 73. And so this is a far cry from when the normal use of big tech means FANG and FANG adjacent. So like FANG is like number 1. And then Hudson River Trading Company, cool. If you skip the quant firms, that's a really solid company. DeepMind is Google. So you have Facebook, Google, quant firm. But if you skip those, you have Facebook, Google, Google again, LinkedIn. So this would be like Microsoft. So these are big tech. Calling Capital One big tech is just a bit of a misnomer, and I think it's a solid company, so I'm not trying to like disparage them, but it's not FANG adjacent. And another way, there's like many ways that you can tell this. Another way that you can tell this, first of all, just ask the engineers that work there who gets priority when it comes to engineering capacity allocation. Are the opinions of the tech leaders or are the opinions of the product leaders prioritized? If the opinions of the tech leaders are prioritized, you can call this a tech company. If the opinions of the product leaders are prioritized, we call this a product company. It's not really a tech company. So in that role, tech is serving product, and tech is always serving product, but there are sort of like degrees of this. And one of the features of a tech company is that tech is actually leading the organizational vision, right? So think about like a Meta. Do they have like one product or like one thing that they do? You might think it's like the Facebook platform, but no. I mean, practically that might be their big revenue earners, Facebook ads. But from a strategic vision point of view, they don't want that to be the case. They want to have new innovations. And so their real strong skill, if you ask like the leaders at Meta, is their tech function rather than, say, the Facebook ads platform. Okay, so that's sort of like a vision way that you can tell this. The prestige, the engineering quality bar, and then comp, straight up comp. So look over here. Here we have Capital One. E5 at Facebook is going to pay mid 400s TC. E5 would be a senior, okay? And so a senior at Capital One, you're doing upper 200s. So it's just not even in the same league. You can literally hire 2 Capital One senior engineers for less than a Facebook engineer. They're just not comparable. Indeed, like you can go up to like senior distinguished engineer at Capital One would be comparable to an E5 at Meta, at least in terms of comp. It does get fuzzier. It does get fuzzier because they're doing different things at that level of seniority, right? Okay, so that's about Capital One. And then about Amazon, I did not get an offer from Amazon. So I've previously worked at Amazon, but this recent interview process, I did not get an offer from Amazon. And then my current title is staff. When I previously worked at Amazon, it was just a full engineer. Really, it was called a cloud engineer. So that would have been SDE2. So if your question is like, would I prefer a tier 2 staff role to a tier 1 mid-level role? Like, yeah. So hopefully that answers your question. All right, thanks for the questions. So no, it's not a general statement that I prefer startups. It's like I like this role more than the other options that I had. So this thing is still not working. The issue might be related to the text animation. It seems that Cursor has no idea. Cursor and/or Claude has no idea what the right fix is here. All right, let's go to the character creation scene. Handle continue button. Handle animation complete. We're going to force an update of the scene. Okay, cool. I'm not really sure that I want to do that, but we'll see. Here's the next step. I'm not seeing a change on the console.log. I'm not seeing a change on the current step. True, false, false, false. So the only change that I'm seeing is in this case 3. So I'll only grab that bit. Very knowledgeable. I'll be doing the laterally kata first. Then afterwards, I'll supplement with the NeetCode 150. Awesome. I think that's a solid plan. Thanks for being here, Choslide. If you're enjoying the video, I hope you'll follow the page and consider leaving a like or sharing the video with a friend. The likes help the algorithm send the video to other potentially interested viewers. Oh, here I am on prod, so that would be a mistake. That could have been my issue. All right, so I'm skipping. Whoa. Let's roll that back. Yatende, thanks for the likes. So Skip actually skipped this whole. Do I like that or not? That was not my intent. Skip text was supposed to. Skip text was supposed to like render all the text. All right, well, it sort of cured the pausing problem. Sort of cured the pausing problem. All right, so, okay, let's talk some more with Sonnet here. This cures the freezing problem where I cannot proceed, but it does not include the desired functionality for the user. When a user clicks skip, I'm okay with that for the skip button, but I don't like it for, let's see. I see how the word skip text, like intuitively, it's like I don't want to read any of this. But my intent was paint it really quickly. One more click will skip forward. Okay, skip button. We will have handle skip button. Right. So this handle animation complete is like a little too eager for me. I do like that we're making these handlers. I like that idiom. I'm going to move these handlers around so that they're in alphabetical order. A skip seems to be implemented outside of the animation typing. Instead of being implemented during the animation. Maybe. So did it write the whole manager? Is complete, clear current text. See, this is a pain point of using the IDE. What does this button do? Oh, okay, apply. Let's see if that works. The pain point is I have to pick the bits that go in, right? But if the play button works, then it'll resolve that for me. Is it diffing intelligently? Wow, so it really wants to change this thing up, eh? Let's give it a shot. I mean, I have no idea if this is good. I see some IDE errors. I haven't saved this file, so is Cursor able to see the unsaved version? Let's see. Cool. Seems like the answer is yes. Okay, so that's really handy. I don't know why this is like floating out here. I've saved the file, right? So I've accepted it, right? Thanks for the follow. Okay, so at least the linter is happy. Let's see if this works. Whoa. Okay. It kind of worked. Yeah, this is my intent. It's just rendered offset. And it's garbling some text over here. The intended skip functionality is now working. However, the animation has lost the typing sound it was using, and it is rendered at an incorrect location on the UI. Thanks for the follow. Okay, let's try to apply this. Do I already have a function? So it's going to let me apply it to different locations. That's interesting. I think I want to apply to entire file. Yeah, this is not right. This is not right. So let's look at the diff here, text animation manager. There's the typing sounds. So they're all here. They're just not working. What are you using to render the text? This text animation manager, which is using Phaser, the Phaser game engine. So this feels exhausting to me. Like, I don't know about y'all, but this feels like it feels not smart. It feels not smart. I'm really having to really drive it to get it to do any kind of positive creation. All right, I guess I'll give this 5 more minutes, but I am wanting to wrap the stream because yeah, I could just code this thing more effectively, I feel. It seems like it's forgetting what used to be there. So here's play sound. And then the new code play sound is not working. If text is, yeah. Okay, it brought it back. Why is it not working? So here in production, I can hear it. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it on the stream because I don't know that like the sounds my computer plays, I don't know if they're hooked up to the stream. Does that make sense? But anyway, here in production, it played the sound. And here on my local, it's not playing the sound. It's not playing the sound. And the text is not clickable. The render location continues to suffer from a regression bug where it is painted partially off screen of the canvas. The width constraint does not solve the issue because the because the initial coordinate for painting is incorrect. Further, the typing sound continues to not play, and the text is no longer clickable as it used to be. So basically, you broke my manager, bro. I apologize for the oversight. Thanks. Did I lose my apply button? Oh, if I change the width of the pane, it shows or hides. Okay, so if I make the pane wider, now I can see the apply button. That's interesting. So let's apply to the entire file. Future me, thanks for the likes. Current animation has gotten steamrolled. So let's accept all the things that it recommended, and then let's go fix the next one. Okay. Nice. And now we're back to the continue button is not allowing the next render. Now the position of the text is correct, but okay, so let me change the width here. Instead of asking it, let me just make this 400 manually. Does that fix it? No, okay. And this one says 300. Okay, 300 seems to work. What are you hacking? This game. Where's this old style field? Okay, cool. So it's just using the old version. We lost this console. Like, how much is it actually fixing here? It got rid of my catch. I don't know why you would do that. Oh, it got rid of the try and the catch. Cursor, tisk tisk, just getting rid of tries and catches. That's like making my code less safe. And it did this like without asking and with no technical reason. Like there's no benefit technically to removing those. Maybe it's trying to preserve tokens, I guess. Okay, so effectively it like changed this method for no good reason at all. Or like we're kind of back to the starting point, basically. Make text clickable. This previously existed. Let's see. Yeah, it was down here. So it has moved the function. So this get diff appears like it's changed a lot of things, right? But a lot of them have just been shuffled. I want to get into coding, but I don't have a computer. Get a different job so that you can afford a computer. Go work at Walmart for a little while. Dang thing cost hundreds more than one of my paychecks. No. Check out Laterally. Go to the blog. Hardware needed to code. This is all you should be thinking about spending. I work overnight for Walmart. Yeah, dude, save up 3 paychecks. You can get a laptop and you can get the Walmart discount as well. So just get a Chromebook. You can start coding with a Chromebook. Get a Raspberry Pi. No, don't get a Raspberry Pi. You're going to be causing trouble for yourself. Okay, so the thing, now it's broken again. So it's shuffled around these things, yeah? And now it's broken again. These changes reintroduce these methods. So it had just completely deleted necessary methods. A Chrome A, I had one but ended up modding one of the first cheap models, and it's a coffee coaster. I don't know what to tell you, man. That sounds like that's on you. You can use a Chromebook and start getting coded. You can start coding with a Chromebook. Okay, so it worked once. Make it another one, just not the cheap one. Bathsheba, thanks so much for the likes. Introduces an animation queue. Yes, that's what we need. Isn't that what we had previously? Yes, we had it manage text object. So we had it as we had this manage text object entity, which was meant to be a queue, basically. So you can add and delete. Maybe the implementation was too confusing to cursor or something. Okay, so how have you done the queue this time around? Just a list. Yeah. Fine. Maybe that's more intuitive. Continue listening still sticks. Sick. All right, I'm gonna call it there. So yeah, it doesn't work very well. It doesn't work very well. It moves stuff around. It forgets things. It diagnoses the issue incorrectly. Um, I can't reliably use the like apply recommendations. So we are not in a situation where Cursor is like generating apps of any notable quality or complexity. We are still in the world where I need to be very selective about the bits that I choose and pick over. And as long as I'm doing that, why do I care that I'm using Cursor IDE? Like, what's the benefit of that relative to using the website, right? I'm still gonna have to read it and like pick the bits over. Maybe it saves me the trouble of switching tabs. I think that's about like the most benefit that I'm seeing right now. All right. Anyway, that's my current analysis. Thanks for being here. Hopefully, I'm actually very confident it will be much better within the next year. Whenever Strawberry drops, GPT-5, Sonnet 4, like when these things come out, I'll give it another try. But currently, it's